Hi everyone, for our 5th grade Elevate lesson today, we are focused on place value and expanded form. For the purposes of this lesson, you are not going to go over questions 1 through 3. However, it is important that you internalize the content on this page in order for you to be successful in your model later on. So it's important for you to know that we are working with whole numbers today, 4-digit whole numbers. And so what students are going to have to do is identify the place value of each digit in order for them to write the entire number in expanded form. So for instance, in this example, we have the number 5,321. Students have to know that in 5,321, we have 5,000s, 300s, 2 10s, and 1 1. Once they are able to identify that place value, they will then go ahead and create an addition sentence that matches that standard form number. Okay, so we are taking ourselves from standard form to unit form, from unit form to expanded form. So 5,000s is the same as 5 times 1,000. 300s is the same as 3 times 100. 2 10s is the same as 2 times 10. And 1 1 is the same as 1 times 1. Now, these individual multiplication sentences in and of themselves do not give you 5,321. What I mean is 5 times 1,000 by itself does not equal 5,321, right? In order for students to have proper expanded form, they are going to need to add up each of these multiplication sentences together. So 5 times 1,000 plus 3 times 100 plus 2 times 10 plus 1 times 1, right? Some students may be able to make it even simpler. They may be able to say, okay, well, I know that 5,000s is simply written in standard form as 5,000. So they may be able to skip this step right here and jump from unit form to standard form, okay? But the same thing is still true. They would need to add up the individual standard forms. So 5,000 plus 300 plus 20 plus 1 gives you 5,321. And so for the purposes of this lesson, you are going to engage in a guided practice or a teacher model of questions 4, 5, and 6. You might want to start with questions 5 and 6 because all these questions ask you to do is to identify the value of a highlighted digit. And so you might go over the first one as a model. What is the value of the 7 and 783? Put that number into the place value chart and then circle it or highlight it and let students know how you know the value is 700. From there, you can launch them into a turn and talk to identify the answer for question 6 before you jump into an official model of question 4, where you are having to take the number from standard form to expanded form. It is going to be important for you to model both strategies, the strategy of the expanded form with the multiplication sentences and then without the multiplication sentences. However, in both of the examples, make sure you do not forget the addition symbols. From there, you will launch students into 8 minutes of partner practice for questions 7 through 12. They will be at a volume level 1, and then provide them with 5 minutes of time for them to engage in their exit ticket. Now, for their exit ticket, we want to make sure that students are able to write the number 5,834 in expanded form. It doesn't matter whether they're using the multiplication strategy or just the standard form strategy. And then we want to also be able to make sure that they know how to identify the value of a specific digit within an entire number. So this is out of 3 total points.